folks? Kel Kellogg here. Just the other day I got an email from a fella that loves to trout fish, and he asked me, what do you run when you are specifically looking for big trout? And truth be told, I've caught a lot of really big trout on trolling flies and little tiny XL spoons, Castmasters, cripplers and stuff like that. But when I'm at a lake and I say to myself, man, I am looking for a big bite, I'm looking for a big Mackinaw, maybe a big brown, a huge rainbow, these are the plugs I use. You see, it's a small box. I don't have a whole lot in here, but this is my selection of big trout plugs this year, and I thought I'd share with you folks. So, got a couple in here I've never used before, and I'm very anxious to give them a try. So, pretty standard stuff right off the top. They're all tangled up. I'll just kind of hold them up here. I've got a couple Husky Jerks like this one here and that vertical green guy you see there. Those are your full size. I think they're number 13 Husky Jerks. They're Rapalas. Pretty standard issue lure for big trout guys. They are a suspending bait. You can run them fast. You can stop and start them. And they're going to suspend in the water column. They're going to hang right there. You can rip them. You can pull them fast. That's something you want to be top lining. You want to be going 3 to 4 miles an hour. You want to be ripping them when you go across structure or go across a point. Doesn't hurt if you hit the bottom with them once in a while. That's a big benefit to you. So those are big fish baits. You get hit on that, well, not to say it can't be a small fish, because I've caught a lot of planter rainbows on those, but generally speaking, you get hit on a big Husky Jerk like that, you're going to have a big Husky trout at the end of your line. Now, this is a deep running Husky Jerk, and I have not even put this plug in the water yet. I saw them online and I had to have one. Look at that. Look at that blue back. Tell me that doesn't look like a kokanee. This thing's supposed to run 15 to 20 feet deep on a long line troll with fairly light line, like 8 or 10 pound test. So I'm expecting big things from that. That lure is going to see some action at places like Bucks Lake, Stampede, maybe Donner, anywhere where there's some kokanee swimming around and big fish that like to eat them. So I'm super excited about that lure. It just, man, just look at that. That thing is just cool. So anyway, lures catch fishermen a lot of times and not fish, but I'm sure this will catch both. But anyway, pretty pumped about that. Another lure I haven't tried and I just got, I'm pretty stoked about it, is this guy right here. And I got this one because of the stuff I see from Mark Wiesa on Facebook. He's the legendary big trout guy on Tahoe and other high Sierra lakes. And this is a kokanee pattern lineman lure. And they don't make these anymore. I got this one at Willfish Tackle in Auburn. He still has a few. This is the 3-inch model, and it is carved out of cedar. It's got a very unique shape. Color is great, has one hook. This is intended to be run at about 2 miles an hour. I actually was messaging back and forth with Mark about it, and he shared that what he really likes about the lineman is it's a lure that you could bounce off the bottom without being too worried about snagging. He said the wood ones are pretty snag resistant, and he said that's part of the key to success is having that lure hit the rocks once in a while. This is another one that's going to see some action at places like Bucks and Tahoe if I get out there. That's just a cool looking lure. I can't wait to fish it. I've been hearing about limans for a long time, and now I got one. So anyway, they're not cheap. That was $12, but Willfish Tackle in Auburn, California. He has a few. Get them before they're gone, because there's not going to be any more. Plastic ones are available, but not like this this awesome cedar one here. So anyway, there's that. Pretty standard choice here. Broken back, kokanee pattern Rapala. It's the floater. It's the big one. Can I say everybody's got a Rapala? They just catch fish. They're awesome. So there's that. This is a lure from Ima. It's more of a bass lure. It's called a flit. It's a suspending minnow bait. It's got a nice slim profile. It's kokanee pattern. It's got a little rattle action going on in it. I've caught a few smaller trout on this. I've never caught a big one, but I haven't spent a lot of time with it on the end of my line either. And then this front case here, no surprises. Got a rainbow pattern Rapala, a brown trout pattern Rapala, And I have this plug right here, which I got this years ago from Vance Staplin, and I've never fished it. It's been kicking around in my garage. And what is it called? It is called a Atomic. Basically a J plug. It's rainbow pattern, and this is probably, gosh darn it, I want to say this is 10 years ago. I was at an outdoor show, and Vance was in the booth next door, and he was talking about his plugs. He was doing some seminars, and he was selling some stuff that he had in his garage. And he's all, "Hey Cal, do you have a Atomic?" He's all, "Man, this is just a kick butt big fish lure." So he gave it to me, and it's been collecting dust in the garage ever since, but it popped back up to the surface the other day, so there it is, and it is a cool looking lure, so I can't wait to try that. It's got kind of a unique hook arrangement there. The hook is tethered on with a lock snap, a swivel, nice big treble hook there. So anyway, this is supposed to be a killer. Vance is the man, he wouldn't steer me wrong, so looking forward to running that. And then my final compartment is my mag lips. These are my Yakima 3-inch mag lips. They got a great action. I've been playing with these for about a year. There's a golden orange one below there, bright orange. Got a couple other color patterns. Got one of my favorites, the old chrome and blue. And this one's just cool looking. It's kind of a perch pattern. It's gold and green, and it's got a red bill. So that's about the size of it. When it comes to catching big trout, pounding them with the big plugs, I think patience is more important than the lure selection. Patience and speed. Most of the time you want to be trolling fast, you want to be working structure, and you want to put in your time. It's a little bit like sturgeon fishing. You keep the baits in the water, you keep your presentation clean, pay attention to detail, and if you troll long enough, something good is going to happen. And also, whenever you're running big stuff, and I don't care if you're running big stuff for trout or stripers or marlin or whatever, if you're fishing with confidence and you're putting in your time, make sure you cover all those little details. One of the big ones is making sure your drag is set properly. Make sure you've got good line on the reel. Make sure you've got a good net on the boat, because eventually you're going to hook that fish, and a little mistake, they're gone. This is a good story. I'll embarrass Monty Smith. This is a pretty good story of Gold Country Guide Service. This is 10 or 12 years ago now. I'm old. I was out at Tulloch Reservoir with Monty, and Monty had been into some big fish, and he was getting them on threaded worms and side planers. He was getting these big rainbows. So slow day, it's raining, we're not catching anything, caught a few small fish, whatever. And we ended up tangling up one of the rods. No problem, Monty's got a whole bunch of rods and the rocket launchers up there. So we grab another rod, rig it up, put it in the water. We didn't check the drag, of course not. So we're not gonna catch anything. We haven't caught anything all day. Put that out there. No sooner does that side planer get out there and start doing its thing, boom! I get the rod, start to fight the fish runs, and it snaps 12-pound test like it's sewing thread. Side planer gone. It was one of those little inline side planers. Side planer gone, fish gone, gear gone, everything gone. Nothing but a big swirl. So anyway, we laugh about that still. So attention to detail when you're looking for big fish, because eventually they're going to come knocking, and you better be ready or you're going to be sorry. You're going to be sorry 12 years later. Anyway, this is Cal Kellogg. Those are my big trout lures. I'll catch you out on the water, or catch you here on YouTube real soon. I'm signing off. I got to get back to the typewriter, actually back to the computer. Nobody types on the typewriter anymore, and start pounding out some more articles for the Fish Sniffer magazine. I'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot, folks.